Since the dawn of time, human eyes have turned to the night sky. Among the countless stars, one world always stood out, glowing red, mysterious and alluring. Mars, the planet that has inspired myths, science fiction and dreams of other worlds. For the Babylonians, it was the star of war. For the Romans, it was the god Mars, a symbol of strength and conquest. And for us today, it is the closest destination where humanity might one day step beyond Earth and begin a new chapter of existence. But Mars is not just a symbol. It is a challenge, a frozen desert world, hostile and unforgiving. Yet, within its barren landscape, we see hope. Hope for science, for discovery, and perhaps for survival. In the 19th century, astronomers peered through telescopes and thought they saw canals. The idea spread like wildfire. Were these the works of intelligent beings? Authors like H.G. Wells gave us visions of Martian invaders, terrifying, advanced, unstoppable. But science shattered the myth. The first spacecraft, Mariner 4, in 1965, showed us a desolate world. No canals, no alien civilizations, just craters, dust, and silence. Then came the Viking missions. In the 1970s, they landed the first probes on the Martian surface, analysing soil for signs of life. The results were inconclusive, but the dream of life on Mars was too powerful to fade. Over the decades, more missions followed. Pathfinder and its tiny rover Sojourner, a machine no bigger than a microwave oven, yet it became the first robot to drive across the surface of Mars. A small step, but a giant leap for planetary exploration. Then came Spirit and Opportunity. They were designed to last only 90 days, but against all odds, they kept moving, not for months, but for years. Spirit explored the dusty plains until it fell silent, and Opportunity endured for nearly 15 years, becoming one of the most successful robotic explorers in history. And then, Curiosity, a car-sized laboratory on wheels, still climbing Martian hills today. It drills into rocks, studies ancient riverbeds, and sends back breathtaking images of a world that once may have flowed with water. Each mission, a new chapter. Each rover, a pioneer, bringing Mars closer to humanity. And in 2021, Perseverance touched down in the Jezero crater, a place where a river once flowed into a vast lake. It carried with it not only the most advanced instruments ever sent to Mars, but also a bold experiment, a small helicopter named Ingenuity. Perseverance began drilling, collecting rock cores, and sealing them in tubes, samples that one day may be returned to Earth to answer the question of whether life once existed on Mars. And Ingenuity, though only a test, achieved the impossible. For the first time in history, humanity achieved powered flight on another planet. From the thin Martian air rose a tiny machine, but its blades carried with them the weight of human ambition and the dream of exploring worlds beyond our own. Mars is smaller than Earth, just over half its size. But it holds landscapes more extreme than anything on our planet. Olympus Mons rises 22 kilometres into the sky, the tallest volcano in the entire solar system, 3 times higher than Mount Everest. And Valles Marineris stretches 4,000 kilometres across the Martian surface, a canyon so vast it could span the width of the United States. Mars is not just extreme in size. Its atmosphere is 100 times thinner than Earth's, made almost entirely of carbon dioxide. For a human, it is unbreathable. No oxygen, no protection from deadly radiation. The air pressure is so low that liquid water cannot exist on the surface. Any drop of water would instantly boil away or freeze into ice. The average temperature, minus 60 degrees Celsius, and at night, the cold can plunge even deeper to minus 100, turning the Martian world into a frozen wasteland. And then there are the storms. Dust devils rising like tornadoes across the plains, and sometimes entire planet-wide storms swallowing Mars in a haze of red dust for weeks at a time. The sky grows dim, the sun reduced to a faint glow, as if the planet itself is wrapped in shadow. Yet, through the chaos, Mars remains hauntingly beautiful, a frozen desert painted in shades of red, orange, and gold. A world at once hostile and breathtakingly majestic. But what about life? Billions of years ago, Mars was not the frozen desert we see today. Geological evidence shows that rivers once carved valleys, vast lakes filled craters, and perhaps an entire ocean stretched across the northern lowlands. Where there is water, there may be life, and Mars once had plenty of it. We see ancient river deltas preserved in stone. We see mineral deposits that could only have formed in liquid water. Even today, ice lies hidden beneath the surface, locked away in the cold Martian soil. The Curiosity rover discovered clay minerals, proof that billions of years ago, Mars had the right chemistry, the right conditions for microbial life to survive. And Perseverance is continuing that search. In Jezero Crater, it explores the remains of a river delta, collecting rock cores sealed in titanium tubes. Someday, these samples may return to Earth, where scientists can examine them for fossilised biosignatures, tiny patterns in minerals that might be the fingerprints of ancient microorganisms. And then there is methane. On Earth, most methane is biological, produced by living creatures. But on Mars, scientists have detected mysterious methane plumes appearing suddenly, then vanishing with the seasons. What causes them? Are they chemical reactions in the rocks? Or could they be traces of hidden life deep beneath the ground? If life ever existed on Mars, it may still survive in protected refuges, perhaps in underground aquifers where liquid water might persist, perhaps within caves shielded from deadly radiation. Even microbes clinging to existence would be a discovery of staggering importance. Because if Mars once nurtured life, then life is not unique to Earth. It would mean that biology is not an accident, but a natural outcome wherever conditions allow. And if life appeared on both Earth and Mars in the same solar system, then the universe may be filled with living worlds. The discovery of even the simplest microbe would change our understanding of existence forever. The idea of humans living on Mars is no longer science fiction. SpaceX, NASA, and other space agencies are drafting concrete plans for the first crewed missions. Within the next 2 decades, the first footprints may mark the Martian soil. The vision is ambitious, not just landings, but settlements. Protective domes rising from the red desert, greenhouses glowing in the thin atmosphere, and laboratories searching for ways to turn Mars from a barren rock into a second home. Elon Musk dreams of building a city of 1 million people within a century, a civilization independent from Earth, capable of surviving even if catastrophe strikes our world. But the obstacles are formidable. Radiation on Mars is intense. Without Earth's magnetic field, settlers would be exposed to cosmic rays and solar storms. Solutions are being tested, burying habitats under Martian soil, covering domes with regolith, or building colonies inside natural lava tubes that lie hidden beneath the surface. Gravity, only 38% of Earth's, may weaken bones and muscles over years of living. Scientists wonder how future generations born on Mars would grow and adapt. And then, the struggle for essentials. Air must be extracted from the atmosphere, water mined from ice deposits, food grown in hydroponic farms under artificial light. Technology is moving forward. NASA's MOXIE experiment has already proven that oxygen can be created from carbon dioxide directly on the Martian surface. Solar arrays and nuclear reactors are being designed to provide energy. Recycling systems are evolving to reuse every drop of water and every breath of air. Some dream even bigger, of terraforming Mars itself. Gigantic orbital mirrors designed to warm the planet. Factories producing greenhouse gases to thicken the atmosphere. And theories of detonating nuclear devices at the poles to release frozen carbon dioxide. But such visions would take centuries, even millennia. For now, the reality is more fragile. Small bases, self-contained bubbles of life scattered across the Martian desert. Human outposts surrounded by silence. The dream is not yet of oceans and forests. It is survival. Survival on a world both hostile and full of promise. So why do we look to Mars? Some say it is survival. If disaster strikes Earth, war, asteroid impact, or climate collapse, humanity may need a second home. Not a dream, but a necessity. A lifeboat drifting in the dark sea of space. Others say it is curiosity, the same restless spirit that once drove us to cross unknown oceans, to climb the highest mountains, and to fly beyond the clouds, now urges us to reach for the stars. But for many, it is something deeper, a sense of destiny. The next chapter in an ancient story, the story of life, daring to go beyond its birthplace. As Arthur C. Clarke once wrote, "The Earth is the cradle of humanity, but one cannot live in the cradle forever." And perhaps Mars is the first step out of that cradle. Mars is harsh, Mars is dangerous, but Mars is also a mirror. It reflects our fears, our courage, our longing to become more than we are. To walk on Mars would be more than exploration. It would be a declaration that humanity refuses to stop dreaming. Carl Sagan reminded us, we are made of star stuff, and by reaching for Mars, we are simply trying to go home. Perhaps one day, children will look up from the red soil and see two suns in their sky, the blazing sun above and the distant pale blue dot of Earth far away. As the film The Martian said, at some point, everything's gonna go south, and you're gonna say, this is it. You can either accept that, or you can get to work. That spirit of resilience is what will carry us beyond this world. Whether it happens in a century or never at all, one truth remains. The red planet is part of our story, part of who we are and who we may become. As long as we keep looking upward, as long as we dare to reach beyond the familiar, humanity's journey will not end on Earth. It will continue among the stars.